So welcome back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. February is month of love. So until Valentine's Day, we're going to be doing romance movie, rom-com-esque movie list. And today, we're starting off with movie couples. Our top 5 favorite movie couples. I'll tell you how our list work. Then we'll get into it.
He's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on, or well, the same couple in this case on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, they'll say Zemeckis, and then we'll just talk about it when we get to it on their list.
And hit the spot.
Number 5 for me is going to be Sebastian and Mia from La La Land. Now, couple, I love them. I want them to work. They have great chemistry, and the movie with Steve Carell, Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have great chemistry in that, but this is more defined. It's more focused on them.
Yeah.
So I went with their couple in La La Land, and the ending, it gave me the ending I wanted. And I felt so much joy. I was happy. But then it broke them up, which kind of defeats the purpose of the couple. But growing up in life, being okay and moving on, I think those relationships are just as important, because what we learn, the lessons we take from our past partners, like in this case, without them, they wouldn't have that drive, the motivation to move forward and getting out of their comfort zone to get what they want. They pushed each other. They have the lives they wanted before they met each other. Mm-hmm. And it teaches you a really beautiful thing, even though the couples didn't work out. And I just respect them as a couple. You know, I feel like a lot of people have that, or they don't see it. They don't realize it. But I think it's something everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is going to be Jesse and Celine in the Before trilogy. You see them fall in love. You see them come back together. You see them married with kids. You have a almost complete relationship life. And these movies are 10 years apart as they're growing old, as they're aging themselves, understanding their characters more, and bringing their relationships into these roles. And each film you get something different, and how beautiful that is and how authentic it feels on screen. It's just amazing achievement in film that Richard Linklater had this in his mind, and the patience to do it, because I'm sure that script changed from each 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Probably changed a lot.
Yeah.
And being flexible to adapt on that and taking input from these two people that have great on-screen chemistry to make these movies so special is a great feat for everyone involved. And it makes them one of my favorite movie couples.
Yeah. And you love great feet.
Why the fuck you lying?
My last name is not Tarantino.
So anytime we make like lists that could be general, could be really specific, I always try to like set some type of rule for myself. And recently I had a conversation with a coworker and a trainee at our job where we were kind of all talking about our relationships, which are all really different because 2 of us are married and the other person is just now in like probably their first actually healthy relationship that they've ever been in their entire life. And she's also a lot younger. And then, you know, I spend a lot of time on the internet. Anyways, long story short, there's this like really popular trend where people just think it's fun to be toxic in relationships these days. And I fucking hate it. And it's really stupid. And you're wasting your time and other people's time. And it's dumb. So for my list, I specifically wanted to pick 5 of the healthiest movie couples that I could think of, because at this point in my life, that those are my favorite. So for my number 5, and I had to put them at number 5 because the movie's not really about them and they don't get a ton of screen time. But it's Mr. and Mrs. Pendergast, which are the mom and dad from Easy A. What an incredible couple. And it's like, we don't get a whole movie about their life. So like, have they had their ups and downs? Probably. every like marriage, long-lasting relationship, short-term relationship does. But man, they are just like on the same page, and every time we see them, it's like mostly them communicating with their kids. But you can also just tell by the way that they communicate with their kids that their communication with each other is probably also like S tier. Like they're just on it. And I really, really love that. And I love that they like give their kids space to figure their own shit out, but while still like clearly monitoring it enough to like be ready to step in if they needed to. And I admired that. And when my kid is older, and if I have more kids, I really hope that me and my wife are like that. And then number 4 for me is Kat and Patrick from 10 Things I Hate About You. And
my 6. I took them off. I replaced them at the last minute.
Yeah. And so you might be saying, but Nate, you said you didn't like toxic relationships, and this whole thing started because he took this bet about blah, 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 blah. And you're absolutely right.
Wait a minute!
But the thing is that they realized that they cared about each other, and they both said, wait, I actually like this person. I don't want to be fucking shitty. And so I'm not. And they changed, and they ended up together. And, you know, they're in high school. Do these people end up getting married? Probably not. Like, you know, do they keep that going? Like, maybe. Who knows? But the point is this relationship is beautiful because in them getting to know each other, despite them, like, despising each other in the beginning, even though they shouldn't have, because, like, they are basically in the same position. Like, just watching them, like, learn to be vulnerable and actually talk about stuff and be open with each other about their feelings.
It's beautiful.
What a hard thing to do in high school, too.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the opposite of what everyone around you, like whether it's verbally or non-verbally, is telling you you're supposed to do. And they do it anyways.
And the football singing scene. Top 10 greatest scenes in a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
My number 3 is going to be Walter Burns and Heidi Johnson from His Girl Friday. They're not in a relationship in the beginning of the movie, but they were previously, and they come back to work together because he's desperate. He needs a story, and she has this passion for reporting, and she can't resist.
Yeah.
So they start working together, and that chemistry comes back, and you see it on screen. They work so well together. And the one thing, I think he'll agree, the one thing I love most about movies from the 40s, 50s, that quick fucking dialogue.
Yeah.
It's so attractive that, like...
Yeah, and His Girl Friday is, like, in terms of that, is up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they are quick in that movie. Like,
these strong female snarky characters.
Yeah.
With that dialogue, it's like, oh my god, dude, like...
Yeah.
Go get her.
Yeah,
like,
you can't just put those movies on. If you want to, like, know the movie, like, you can't just put that movie on the background. Like, you have to, like, actively be listening. Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
You're rooting for them to fall in love. When they fall in love again, that relationship that's been brought together just is so meaningful and earned. And I don't know if they last, but at that point, I don't care. I'm just glad they're back together. And it's a beautiful coming together again relationship story. Because as one of our friends told us, you can break up 7 times, but you can get married and still be happy. Number 2 for me is going to be Robbie Hart and Julia Gulia in The Wedding Singer. I fucking love these two.
That's also a pretty good one, actually. Like, yeah.
Friends to lovers. This is relationship goals.
Ease. You got the greatest of ease.
That's right.
If a bitch, I shouldn't say that. If a female, you know, rap music, maybe it is bad for the children. If a woman ever, it don't have to be on a plane, just sung me, I want to grow old with you anywhere, I would probably put a ring on it. What a great fucking song. That's what you want in a partner. You want that selflessness. You want that commitment, that friendship. And this film, as funny as it may be, it has a real point of view. Like, what you want as a base of a relationship. And as funny as it is, again, it taught me a lot without knowing it taught me a lot about, hey, these are things I value or would value in a relationship. And these are things I've thought about a lot in the past year and a half. So I watched this movie thinking, I haven't seen it in a while. It's funny, it's going to make me laugh and make me feel good. And I was like, damn, this shit kind of true. And I love movies like that, you know? It's great.
I'm going to tell your old lady if she needs a guitar lesson. I'll hook her up.
You can. It's not like you live far away.
It's true. So my number 3 is Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Not everyone is going to watch this movie because it's a period piece and it's based on a really old book and like all that stuff, and I get it. But if we're going to look at just their relationship, this is like the breakdown of their relationship. They're at a party. Somebody suggests like him potentially pursuing her, and he's like, basically like, no, I don't think she's very attractive, and she's really plain, and I don't like her person. Like, he basically, any bad thing that you could say about a woman, he essentially says it in Victorian style language.
What a dick.
But she overhears it. So she's like, oh, Darcy's a fucking asshole, like blah, blah, blah. But she's a strong, independent woman. So she writes him a letter and is like, fuck you, I heard you say that shit, and I don't appreciate it. And like calls him out and like intellectually like lays out like why it was fucked up and how it made her feel. And he reads it and doesn't say, oh, fuck that salty bitch, oh, she got mad, haha, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, I kind of was a dick, and this makes me want to be better. And you know what? He spends the whole movie being better, not to try to get her initially, like just to be better. But then he spends more time around her because like he has to, and then they end up realizing that, oh shit, I actually really, really like this person. And he ends up being great when he was a dick in the beginning. And he turns it around, and they end up being really, really good for each other, and it's wonderful, and I like it. Yay! That was my number 3. Number 2 for me is Wesley and Buttercup from A Princess Bride.
I'm surprised we haven't had any in common yet. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to. I'm going to say my number 1, and I think you're going to be like, I don't even know if you thought about it. I don't even know if you're going to think you should have had it on your list, but you're really going to like my number 1. I'll put it that way. Okay. Like, they should have never been in love in the first place based on the social norms that they were born into, but they do anyways. And then Wesley disappears. And then we learn later that literally the only reason that the Dread Pirate Roberts lived, or let him live, was because he was able to articulate how much he loved this woman and how important she was to him. And she literally, even though he was gone, refused to let go of that love, which, like, that might be a little unhealthy on some levels, but she stuck with it, and he shows back up, and then the rest of the movie is them doing what they have to do to be together. Like, ride or die, same team, and that's fucking sick. It's a good couple right there.
You're goddamn right.
Harry Burns, Sally Albright is everything I said about The Wedding Singer, but done better and more serious, and just like you watch them two on the screen and you just, for me at least, I fucking melt. I absolutely love them both as characters, and how they work off opposites attract and how they work off each other and their little conversations over the phone with the split screen. It's just like, I fucking, not drool, but like, what's the word?
Salivate?
That sounds even worse, honestly. I guess.
You ship them.
I don't know what that means either.
Oh, God. You're on the internet.
It's a water. It's a boat. It makes my heart melt, I guess. That's the easiest way to say it. This film just turns me into a sap. Simple as that. And because of that, it's my favorite movie couple. They just work so well together. I mean, Homegirl, she's one of the queens of romantic comedies. So
it's true.
When she's on a film, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 1 is, I really stuck with my theme, and I was like, what is the healthiest...
Can I guess it?
Well, let me finish this.
Okay.
What is the healthiest movie couple that I could possibly think of? And you can guess it now.
Creed.
Oh, no, I thought about
Okay.
them. I really did think about them a lot.
I also thought about them.
No. The healthiest movie couple. And, like, this franchise branches, like, beyond just movies. So, like, just period. But there are movies. The healthiest movie couple that I could possibly think of is Morticia and Gomez Addams. And that's my number one.
I thought you were going to say Han and Leia.
Oh, no. They're not. they are the opposite of what I was trying to do.
Favorite, but it's favorites.
I mean, like, even when you get into the new trilogy, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, they got some shit that they got to figure out. Well, they can't because they're both dead now. But, I mean, maybe, well, Han wouldn't be a Force ghost, so they don't get to figure it out.
What else?
You want to talk about a couple that, like, just
Right or not.
understands each other, is, like, so in love that, like, nothing else matters. And it's like, they're on the same page with their marriage. They're on the same page with their kids. They are, like, so open and understanding of, like, what the other person likes, which, like, for the most part, I think that they just like a lot of the same things, but, like not even in, like, a creepy, like, horny way, but, like, sexually, they are, like, so in tune with each other, like, they understand everything that the other person is about, and, like, so they are about it because that is their person. And it's like, for a movie, or for a world, or, like, a family that is intentionally built to be, like, the antithesis of normal society, they are, like, the epitome of what, like, most people would say a perfect marriage would look like. Which makes it unrealistic. Like, it is unrealistic, but it is real in the films that they are in. And I think that shit's pretty fucking sick.
Now that you think about it, like, something that, like, just came to my mind is in the Angelica Houston ones.
Yeah.
Those two, Rod Julius and Gomez Addams, when he's talking with Fester to get him to try to remember, he's talking like, oh, you remember those twins? He was a dog back in the day.
Yeah.
He chose. Like, he didn't settle. He
Yeah.
chose. He had that dog in him, but those are our top 5 favorite movie couples. Very different. Very creepy, strange, however that song goes.
No.
But,
Creepy and they're kooky.
yeah.
Mysterious and spooky.
Spooky. That's where I was like, spooky. But let us know in the comment section down below your top 5 favorite movie couples of all time. Scrolling up the like button, share this video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
And hit the spot.